Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It is Friday, November 10th, 2023. Here's what's happening today in America. Israeli pause, Manchin out, meat prices at all-time highs, and the skinniest towns in America. That's all coming up. Then Bill will be here with your message of the day. But first, Israel announcing a daily pause in fighting Hamas. The IDF will suspend combat operations for 4 hours each day to allow citizens to flee to safety. The White House is urging the Prime Minister to implement even longer pauses to allow more humanitarian aid. Notice, by the way, that all the trucks of aid going into Gaza, no people are on the trucks as they leave Gaza because no country wants them. Egypt used to control this piece of land. They don't want them. The Queen of Jordan, whose parents are Palestinian, she doesn't want them. The Saudis, Iran, no one wants them. The president of Egypt literally said that taking Palestinian refugees would be destabilizing for his country. Yet here in America, there's a growing effort in D.C. to admit Gaza refugees into your country. West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin has announced he will not be seeking re-election. Manchin is a Democrat. He's been a senator since 2010. West Virginia went for Trump 68-29, yet they kept voting for the Democrat Joe Manchin. What's next? He says, I will be traveling the country and speaking out, seeing if there's an interest in creating a movement to mobilize the middle and bring America together. So is there a chance that he could run for president as an independent candidate? What we do know is that he was behind in the polls for re-election by 22 points. Meat prices spiking after the Southwest United States witnessed the worst drought in 1,000 years. The national average for a pound of beef is now $8, up from $5 during the Trump administration. Latest polls show Americans think Republicans handle the economy better than Democrats. And according to one survey, ABC News, 75% of voters think that the country is moving in the wrong direction. A survey from ABC News listing the skinniest cities in America, ranked by rates of obesity. The slimmest towns are San Diego, Denver, Charlottesville, Naples, Florida, and number one skinniest town, Boulder, Colorado. Just 10% of Boulder's population is obese. The most overweight cities, Jackson, Mississippi, Toledo, Ohio, and number one, Little Rock, Arkansas. 44% of people in Little Rock are considered medically obese. I'm Mike Slater. Let's go to a man who's never looked better, Bill O'Reilly, with your message of the day. Next.
Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD or text GOLD to 65532. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Friday, there was a Republican presidential debate this week, as you know, but it was running against the Country Music Awards, and it got clobbered in the ratings. So about 5 million were the preliminary numbers to watch the debate. Many more watched the CMAs. Now, years ago, as an aside, I presented a CMA award along with the late Naomi Judd, very nice woman who succeeded despite a chaotic upbringing, which I always admire. Anyway, it's not the GOP contenders' fault. The campaign is pretty much over already. Donald Trump is a force of nature who appeals to conservative Republicans on a very emotional level. That combined with Trump's economic success while in office as well as his skill at controlling overseas villains, makes him a lock for the Republican nomination. And so the country will be intensely divided once more. Donald Trump could be reelected easily if he brings it down a bit. He has the record to run on, in contrast to President Biden, whose policies have failed in a major way. And that's what Mr. Trump should concentrate on, not the last election. It's in the books, that's that. It is the future of America that matters most. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Okay, let's get to the mail. We go to Valerie. I was very disappointed that more Republicans didn't win in this week's election. I think it's a sign that the American people do not associate economic pain with the Democratic Party, maybe not even with Joe Biden. Valerie, it wasn't about economics. This was about one or two issues that had nothing to do with the big picture. And the Democrats are simply more motivated on abortion than the Republicans were. That's what it was. Cliff Balas, Paradise, California. I think we both know, Bill, that the real problem is the Republican Party is a bunch of lazy, self-centered individuals. There's a long list of these people. Look, I'm not going to condemn the Republican Party. I will tell you there's no leadership. I mean, when you don't have a leader, Barack Obama is a leader of the Democratic Party. Still, to this day. Because don't have a leader. Trump's not a Republican, as I've said many, many times. Kevin McDaniel, Las Vegas. Bill, I heard your comments recommending the emphasis of adoption. Kudos. Thank you for illuminating the higher road. I could never figure out why the Republican Party, local, state, and federal, doesn't put forth legislation that the government would help the adoption agencies. If it's all about saving lives, which for me it is, okay, that gives a very vivid choice. You can destroy the unborn, abortion, or you can save them, adoption. Why don't they do that? It drives me nuts. In a moment, something you might not know. If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. Car Shield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that's now available to the public. Save on out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. So please call Car Shield now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. 800-925-7584 for a free quote. This protection plan is at an all-time low in price. Drivers who activate the vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. So please call for your free quote, 800-925-7584, 800-925-7584. Hey, what do you have to lose? 800-925-7584. Now, the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 83 years ago today, Walt Disney began serving as an undercover informant for the FBI. His mission, report un-American subversives inside the movie business. Here is the story. Disney launched his animation empire in 1928. For the next decade, the studio released the most popular films in the world. As an ambulance driver during World War I, Walt detested communism. On November 10, 1940, Disney agreed to give the FBI intelligence about alleged Marxists in Hollywood. He supplied information about his own employees, labor unions, actors, and entertainment executives. At the height of the Red Scare, the animator testified before the House Un-American Activities Committee. Said Disney, quote, I believe communism is an un-American thing. I feel that they really ought to be smoked out and shown up for what they are, so that all of the good, free causes in this country can go out without the taint of communism, unquote. Now, in exchange for his cooperation, Walt Disney was allowed to film an episode of the Mickey Mouse Club at FBI headquarters. His information was so valuable to the agency that he was officially designated a, quote, close contact of a special agent in charge. And here's something else you might not know. Even now, nearly 6 days after his death, Walt Disney's relationship with the FBI continues. Records released by the Freedom of Information Act show Walt worked with bureau boss J. Edgar Hoover throughout the 1950s to edit TV shows and film scripts. The agency was even involved in the creation of Disneyland in California. Studio executives collaborated with the feds to develop attractions that promoted American values to young children. Since 1982, the FBI has maintained a permanent presence at both Disneyland and Disney World in Florida. Back after this. If you or your business is falling behind filing your tax returns, or if you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The Biden administration just unveiled an $80 billion plan to modernize the IRS and reduce the unpaid tax debt. Are you tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments? You do not have to face the IRS alone. Hire Anthem Tax Services. They can help you settle your delinquent tax problems and all collections, and may even be able to reduce your back taxes significantly. If Anthem Tax Service cannot reduce your current monthly payment with the IRS or state, or they don't put you in a better position, you might qualify for the 100% money back guarantee. Please call Anthem Tax Services 800-810-9193, 800-810-9193, 800-810-9193. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.